Hello and welcome to the Gaming Brilliant. Today I will be reviewing Anthem VIP demo, which I was a part of, and hopefully with my review you will decide whether you want to get Anthem the game itself or not. So the review is gonna be divided by 4 parts, which will be timestamps in the description. You can check it out if you want to jump to some exact theme. But 4 main topics that we'll discuss is gameplay, the world of Anthem, Javelins, those are the suits in the game, and game in general, how it did during this first weekend of their actual demo where public audience could enjoy the game itself. So let's start with gameplay. First of all, this is one of the best third-person shooter games that I have tried. I've been playing Warframe before and also Division and some other game titles. And from my opinion, this third-person shooter is very smooth. It doesn't have any lags unless the servers are down or anything like that. So gameplay of the weapons, of course, they have a few types of the weapons which are upgradable, although there's, for example, if you have a sniper rifle, there's in a demo there was just one sniper rifle which you could earn through missions or craft by yourself, but the thing is that there's only one sniper rifle that you can just upgrade in rarity, and with the rarity you would get more damage, more precision, or faster ADS, and all things like that. But there was only one type of sniper rifles. I don't know if there's going to be added more in the final game, which will be released in a few weeks, but we will see about that. So the next thing is the flying ability, and oh god, this is basically Iron Man simulator, because I have never ever seen a game. So this is probably the uniqueness about the Anthem, that the flying ability, you can fly around the world, you can fly underwater, swim underwater, fly underwater, hover around enemies, shoot while you're hovering, and this is amazing. The gameplay from my side I really enjoyed, unless there were some lags, there was some internet connection errors, but that's all in the game in general section. We're going to discuss that later. The next point that I had is the world. The world of Anthem is beautiful, I must say that. We couldn't, as public audience for in the demo, we won't be able to explore the whole world, and that is probably the point of the demo. Let's start with activities of the world. We were able to access 1 or 2 missions and 1 stronghold, and stronghold is basically where you and your team, or you matchmake with some random people. You first complete 1 stage, unlock next stage, you complete that, and there's like few stages like that, and you continue towards the main boss of the mission or a stronghold, or as you may say it, a raid. This is like a mini raid. So basically it was interesting. I would say it takes long time, around like half an hour or even more. If your teammates keep on dying, you have to revive them, or vice versa. This is okay, but I would say it's more harder to get to the boss rather than fight against the boss, because you're floating, you're basically floating, and the boss that we have been given was a insect looking boss, which would be just running around the map, and with every stage we would be able to deal some damage. It would escape, come back, damage, escape, come back, and until it dies. There were not exactly any extra stages where it would, like, change its appearance or anything, so it was pretty easy to beat the boss itself. In the missions, the bosses were a bit easier, though it wasn't that hard, but at the same time it was rewarding. There were 3 types of difficulty, so easy, normal, and hard. There were some more types of difficulties. There were like Grandmaster, which is like, the hardest ever boss, and basically it doesn't do anything except just increases health by 3,000 points or something like that. So that's going to be available in a full game, but what we had, it was the hardest, like the easy, normal, hard. I have tried every type of difficulty. And what I can say is that, of course, with every completed mission or stronghold, you level up. You level up, and of course it's easier to defeat the bosses and the enemies itself. If you go straight up to the stronghold, you're gonna struggle. You have to be with a team. That's another point. You cannot beat the solo stronghold by yourself. Only if it's easy and you're the highest level there. Maybe. I have not tried that, so I'm not going to confirm that. Environment itself is gorgeous. BioWare and EA, they've built an amazing environment in the game. It's beautiful, it's amazing. The day changes, is like from day to night, from morning to evening. You can see sunsets and stars at night. The next thing is social space. Social space was kind of dead. There were a lot of people to talk to in the social space, as like, you know, to buy vanity items or go to the storage that you have, but you couldn't really talk to anyone because it was a demo, and there were around three people that you could actually talk with. So that kind of was a little bit of a bummer, but I hope in the full game it will feel more alive than now. So that's going to be the end on the world section, and we're going to move to Javelins. First of all, Javelins, just to quick explain if you don't know what it is and you're just watching the review of the Anthem demo. Javelins are the suits that you equip on yourself and you go to the world and fight enemies. You would have 4 suits. It's available: Ranger, Storm, Colossus, and Interceptor. So 4 suits. You would start in the demo with the Ranger. I suppose we will start with the Ranger in the full game as well, but I'm not sure about that. Ranger was a full around, you know, all around javelin. You would have basic grenades with you. You would have a shield to protect yourself or increase the damage for your weapon. It would have a nice duration of the floating or flying ability. It would have enough armor to protect from enemy bullets as well, and it was pretty agile, I'm not gonna lie. Then in the demo there was ability, if you reach level 12 you get this item with which you can unlock a new javelin. I have unlocked the Storm ability based javelin. It's not like a Ranger. The Storm was absolutely different. So for example, in the Storm you can use fire abilities, you can use ice abilities, which is amazing, and you can of course go to the, you know, forge where you can put options on your javelins, and from there you can choose either you can throw spears as your Storm javelin, or you can throw like shuriken looking icicles, you can throw fire bombs and all that kind of stuff. It's really customizable regarding that abilities. It was crazy. So Storm was really more about abilities, but of course you have weapons. When your ability on a cooldown, you use your weapon, and it's pretty much good. Flying ability it lasted really long. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that, but it was much better than Ranger, so I enjoyed that much more. So like you could fly longer, you can float longer and shoot, but there were also Colossus and Interceptor. I cannot say anything about those two. I know that Colossus is more of a defense-based javelin, so it would have probably much more armor than Storm, because Storm almost had no armor and I would be killed a lot of times by sniper enemies. Mechanics of the javelins were very interesting. They were very agile. You would need just to get used to, you know, all the controls on the controller or keyboard, whatever you played on. I've played on PS4, just gonna make sure of that. And of course, the last thing about javelins is that they were really customizable. Basically create your own look. You could create, like, you can use any colors on the javelin armor. You can even use different materials, even like, you know, leather, metal or rusted metal and all that kind of stuff. And the last section of this review, it's a game in general. So game in general, it's probably gonna divide it by good things, bad things. They're not separated, so I'm just gonna read out of my own opinion what it is and what can be done better, I guess. So game in general, first thing that I'm gonna say, it's not Destiny. It's not FPS. You're not playing against other players, although this option will be added later in the Anthem, later in the game. The game was kind of laggy sometimes from time to time, so if you would like turn around really quick, if you put sensitivity really high, it would lag. It did somehow fix from time to time, but when it was laggy, it was really hard to play. Loading screens were terrible. The loading screens are terrible. The EA and the Anthem game itself, they see this problem, they tried to solve it, but they said it's gonna take time, which kind of sucks. So basically what loading screen is that if you go from Fort Tarsis or the social space, you choose the mission, it loads up to 95% probably, and then it stops. I was sometimes, when I tried streaming, I was loading and it was loading up to 11 minutes and I was just giving up. I would restart the game, it would bring me back and says like, oh, you left the activity, would you like to continue? And if you press yes, it's just matchmaking you with the other team in either the process of the mission or the start of the mission that you have started before you restarted the game. So that sucked, and I hope this will be fixed within these upcoming weeks, so that in a free demo people would try it out and it would be fine, or in the final game, of course, so that the servers would be able to, I don't know, fix this or handle this problem. The next thing is that EA fucked up with servers with the release. I know that they mentioned that they have tested this, but they haven't expected such a big amount of people to try the game out. So I have no idea how that happens. Usually you have to try your best in the company, but I'm not gonna say anything. I don't have a company myself. I don't have servers that run a huge game that's been promoted for the past half a year or even 2 years. But yeah, and the last thing, but not the least, the game made numbers. What I mean by this is that they released some numbers regarding the viewership on Twitch, and it was making like 100,000 viewers per game. It's like, you know, those Fortnite numbers, you know. It was the first day, people were enjoying, they wanted to see how it is. I really enjoyed it myself. The game was fun, I'm not gonna lie. I did not have I wasn't really not enjoying the game. It was fun, although those loading times were annoying. I got past that and I was just restarting the game. I got used to it a little bit. But if that's going to be continuing in the full game, I don't know. It would be very, very disappointing. So this is my review of Anthem demo, VIP demo. That's hopefully it gave you some information. I hope I gave you some insight on the game itself if you haven't played. And by the way, there's going to be a free demo starting from the 1st of February. Probably service will be full as well, just like this weekend. So if you have luck, try it out the next day, so 2nd of February, to play the game itself, and then I hope you will enjoy it. My review is going to be 7.5 Ranger Javelins out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed the content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I will be releasing Anthem videos a lot as well. As soon as the game comes out, I'm gonna be very, very busy with it. And yeah, that's gonna be everything. And as always, stay safe, stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you later. Bye!